Hi guys, Luke Jones here for DartsMad, and today I'm joined by two-time World Master and 2014 BDO World Champion Stephen Bunting. Thanks for coming on today, Steve.
No problem at all, mate.
You've had an illustrious career in the BDO and the PDC, which we'll come on to shortly. But you made a good start to this year off the back of the reaching the last 16 of the World Championship. You made a semi-final, losing to Gerwin Price. Then you made the last 16 of the UK Open. So how frustrating was for it to all come to a standstill for 4 months?
Yeah, no, obviously it's frustrating. It's not nice for anybody, but it's the same for all the players, to be honest. We have to put health and safety and our families first, and that's foremost what's happened. Obviously, it was nice to get the summer series played as well. I was disappointed not to be at Blackpool, which is the first one I've missed for, well, ever since I've been over in the PDC. And obviously, we went from having 19 events, which would have seen me have a great chance of qualifying, to having 5 events, which obviously I didn't have no chance in the end. But it is the same for every player. Like I say now, the Grand Prix qualifiers are coming up. I think I'm comfortable in that at the minute. So if I have a nice series in Hildesheim, then obviously I'll qualify for that as well. I'm playing really well on the TV again. I'm playing well practice, and I'm playing well in the tournament. So just really enjoying darts at the minute.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, the summer series, it went pretty well for you. You reached the last 16 in a quarter final. Obviously, as you said there, the lack of events made you miss out on the match play in the end.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, like I said, I'm playing really well. Form's really good, and the confidence is high. Obviously, I've all the backing of my sponsors and stuff, and I'm pushing forward all the time and trying to improve. And I think that's all we can do. And in this current climate, obviously, it's something that we're not used to, but at least we had a bit of a taste of what it was like at the summer series in Milton Keynes. And I'm looking forward now to going to Hildesheim and competing in that as well.
I want to take you right back to when you was just a pup. You made your debut at Lakeside when you was 18. What's that like? How do you keep your feet on the ground when you're playing on that iconic stage at such a young age?
It was amazing, really. Just to be in that iconic venue. Obviously, from watching it as a kid when I was growing up, and watching all the special talents, and then finding myself there. I think my debut was against Vincent van der Voort, and to get a win as well was such a special moment for me in my life. There was a lot of difficulties for me around that time, as I lost my mother in the November just before the World Championship, so it was difficult. And obviously, I dedicated that win to my mum, and unfortunately after that I lost to Danke. But no, it just set me goals really of what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a Lakeside champion, and obviously in 2014, my dream come true really.
Yeah, I was going to say, your first game at Lakeside is against Vincent van der Voort, and to get that win, that's not a bad debut, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Obviously, I went there with not really many expectations. I was just so happy to qualify for such an event, and obviously it was always a dream to win the Lakeside, but I think it took me 8 attempts to actually finally get over the line. But such a lovely venue, like I said, the history in the tournament, and the prestige that went with winning that title at the time. Unfortunately, you see what's happened with the BDO at the minute, and they're a million miles away from where they needed to be. But at the time, when I was young growing up, that was the place to play. And obviously, after I won the Worlds, then I decided I was going to move to the PDC, and I've never looked back really.
Looking back as an 18-year-old, did you ever dream of achieving what you have achieved at the moment?
I don't think you can ever foresee the future, but obviously it was a big dream to to obviously win a world title. But I think someone put a stat on the other day. I'd won like 80% of my tournaments in a certain year, and yeah, I just had such a great time in the BDO over the last couple of years I was in it. It's strange. I can understand sort of how Glenn Durant's sort of playing at the minute. He's got that. He's on the crest of a wave. He's feeling the confidence, and that's the way I felt.
Yeah.
Sort of unbeatable, to be honest. And yeah, obviously, as soon as you start getting these few defeats, then it knocks your confidence, and the form does take a turn for the worse. But it's about how you prepare. Like I said, listen, I had a lot of experience in the BDO. For a young lad, well, I'm only 35 now, and I was still, the experience I have for being 35 years of age is brilliant, really, and it stands me in good stead for the rest of my career, to be honest.
Yeah, in 2012 you won the biggest tournament of your career at the World Masters, and then a year later you went on to become the fourth person to defend the World Masters. You must have thought after that, right, I've got to win the Worlds now.
Yeah, obviously it was always a dream of mine, and leading up to the World Championship win, I think I was in the form of my life, to be honest. I was playing some really good darts. Yeah, no, it was brilliant, to be honest. And yeah, it's hard to explain. Obviously, the last 2 years I was favourite for the title, so that comes with pressure as well. And obviously you're expected to win it. The first time, obviously I didn't, but the second time I justified the favouritism, and I played some fantastic darts in the 2014 Lakeside. But like going back to the Windmouse and winning the Windmouse and stuff, and that was an amazing achievement. And the second year I went on to do it without dropping a set. So I think that record is obviously going to stand for life, and it's something that I'm very proud of.
And it just shows how dominant you were at that period in the BDO, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I said before, you're sort of on a crest of a wave when you're winning. You just look at football, you look at Liverpool this season, after win, and you just gain confidence, and that's just the way I felt. I was going to events feeling brilliant and feeling like I was going to win it in the day, and it's such a strange feeling. But on the flip side, as soon as you lose a game, then your confidence obviously takes a bit of a battering, and it can flip dead quick. So yeah, no, it was those were some of the greatest achievements of my BDO career, and obviously stood me in good stead for when I moved to the PDC for the taste of the TV. Obviously, the big difference is the crowds in the events.
Yeah.
Now there's thousands of people who come to watch the darts, and the noise generated by the crowds and stuff like that. So that was a big thing to get used to, but I'm absolutely loving it now.
Yeah, you went into that 2014 BDO World Championship as, well, by far the best in the world, and everyone expected you to win it. So how do you handle that pressure?
Strange, really. Obviously, I knew I was playing really well, but I weren't just playing against a really good player in Alan Norris. I was playing against a really good friend in Alan Norris as well. So that sort of settled me down a bit. I knew Alan's game really well. I watched him play. I think it was James Wilson the round before, and it was probably the game of the tournament, to be honest. It was a fantastic game to watch. And I remember being in the pub and thinking, I've got my work cut out here. In the semi-final, I had a tough game and emotional game against my other mate, Robbie Green, as well, which was a difficult game. But I played really well that game, and obviously then pushed me towards the final. And yeah, just sort of went at the final, blinkered, thinking, just keep your eye on the prize, just keep playing as well as you've been playing, and you've got a really good chance. And luckily for me, I got over the line.
You won it 7-4 and then accepted a tour card from the PDC. Was it always your plan to become world champion and then go over to the PDC?
No, definitely not. There wasn't really a plan, to be fair. Obviously, you can never think you're going to win the Worlds. It's one of those things that happens. And yeah, obviously, once I won the Worlds, then I had a lot of thinking to do. there was a lot of broken promises the BDO made regarding TV tournaments that were going to be coming on, and that never ever happened. And that information was floated around for a few years that there was going to be TV events that didn't happen. So yeah, I had a list of positives to stay and positives to go, and in the end, the positives to go to the PDC were just a lot more than staying at the BDO. And the only thing really I could have achieved by staying at the BDO was maybe winning another world title. But I think at the end, I made the right decision. And obviously playing against the best players in the world, the Van Gerwens, the Taylors at the time, the Barnavells, it was a decision that I wanted to play with the best, and that's why I took that decision.
Yeah, I was about to say there, the temptation must have been there of staying there and trying the title, because not many people do that, do they?
No, exactly, and obviously, yeah, it would have been nice to defend the title, but in the same context, I could have went there and not won that title. The pressure that would have been on me for trying and retain and stuff. So I think, yeah, if I'd have stayed and not won the title, then maybe I would. Well, I know for a fact that I've had to go through Q school. I wouldn't have got Sydney and stuff like that. So yeah, it would have been a lot more difficult for me. I think going over on the crest of the wave that I was on, playing really well. It showed when I moved over. My second ever event, I won a tour. So yeah, no, it was. Listen, it's hard. I wouldn't tell anyone to just go to the PDC because it is difficult. But if you wanna play with the best players in the world, then that's the only place you can go.
And if you want to play as a darts player and get to the top of the game, you have to, don't you? You have to switch.
Of course you do, and listen, it's who'd have thought 15 years ago that you could make a living out of darts, and thanks to the likes of Barry Hearn and the crew, Matt Porter at the PDC, they do a fantastic job. They bring in all the sponsorships and make sure that the prize money is always top is there. So yeah, no, listen, I've got massive thanks to the PDC, and long may it continue. We don't know how long it's going to last, but why it's there, yeah, I'm truly grateful, and I'll just continue to try being a top sportsman and hopefully do the best I can and like work towards the World Championships and obviously try and win one of them again.
Yeah, you mentioned there on it was just your second tournament. You won it. You must have thought, "Oh, this is easy."
No, it was strange earlier. It was far from that thought, to be fair. The first day I moved over, I had Sky Sports following me around all day, which put a bit of nerves on me. I lost to Van Gerwen that day, and that was like welcome to the PDC sort of thing. The second day, I remember playing really well all day again. I think I beat Steve Beaton in the semi and Andrew Gilden in the final. So, yeah, I had quite a tough draw, to be honest. But obviously, I always believed I was good enough when I moved over to win titles, and that sort of belief just stayed. It's not always been there because I mean, there's been a few years when I've been down in the doldrums and feeling great about myself and my darts and stuff. But recently, I feel like I'm probably playing now better than I've ever played. So yeah, just looking forward to the rest of the season and to the rest of my career. To be honest, I'm only looking forward.
It didn't take you long to make an impact in the majors either. You beat Peter right in the first round of the World Match Play that year. Then you reached the semi-final of the World Grand Prix, quarters of the European Championship where you beat Phil Taylor in round 2, and then the quarters of the Grand Slam. You must be brimming with confidence going into your debut with Ali Pali.
Yeah, of course it was. To be fair, like I said, I just really enjoyed it. I come over with all that confidence, and that gave me the ability to be able to push through in them events. I never ever looked back once I made the switch over. I never ever regretted anything I've ever done in my darting career. And yeah, I just absolutely loved everything. The TV events, obviously beating Peter Wright in my debut at the Winter Gardens was special, and only just losing to Gary Anderson, I think that year. beating Phil Taylor, who has been an idol of mine since I was a young boy watching the darts. 10-9. A wide double 12 for the 9 darts of that game, and probably one of the best games of the year that was. And obviously accumulating into the World Championships, where I had a very good run and was ended by Barney, who had to play the top of his game to beat me.
Yeah, you beat Robert Marianovic, James Wade, Michael Smith on your way to another PDC quarter-final in your first year, and you came up against Raymond van Barneveld, as you mentioned there. You went down 5-4, and then afterwards he stayed on stage and he said some really nice things about you. I know we've had a lot of stick for that over the years, but that must have been really nice having a legend like that saying those things about you.
Of course it was, and like I said before, listen, I was always a BDO lad, and Barney was always top of the class at the BDO. Such a brilliant professional, and what he did for the game was second to none. And to have someone like that in front of, it wasn't just the fact that he was saying it. The emotionalness come from the crowd chanting my name. So it was the sort of like being accepted into this big PDC family, and then he's saying, "Oh, I should get a Premier League spot," and then obviously with the performances that I've put in over the time and stuff, I'm well. It was proved that I was warranted a place in the Premier League, and obviously that was the biggest thing at the time, and something that I'd love to play in again. That's so important for me to try and work my form back up and get back in the Premier League, because that's where I believe I belong. So I've just got to show that over the next few years and show how good I can be again, and hopefully that'll be enough to push me back in there.
Yeah, you got handed that wild card. It didn't go great. Do you think the Premier League may have came a little too early in your PDC career? Because it's nothing can prepare you for it really, can it? It's week in, week out in front of massive crowds.
It's strange and it's different. Obviously, you're playing in front of 10 to 12 to 13,000 people. I would have liked to have been given another chance. I don't think I disgraced myself by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, there were some games I averaged over 100, and I was losing the games. I think my aim was not to get relegated, which I successfully did.
Yeah.
Obviously finished 8th, but like I said, it was an experience. I think if it had been in the year after or any year after that, then you sort of know what the Premier League's all about, and you can sort of gauge what you need to do. And I'd have done a few things different, but it's something that obviously when I'm in it next time, then I'll have a bit more of an idea of how to go about it, sort of thing.
Yeah, and you were meant to have an opportunity again in front of your home crowd before the lockdown. So I think now you're going to be playing in Milton Keynes, is it?
No. I played in Liverpool. That was just before the lockdown, so.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I drew with Rob Cross, so no, it was.
Nice. Yeah, that's right.
It was nice. Don't get me wrong. It was lovely to be back in the Premier League, in front of my home crowd, and I was more nervous about the walk-on than playing, to be fair. But like I said, it's where every dart player wants to be now in that Premier League, and obviously you can only have so many players in it, but it's something I'm working hard towards getting back into. Like I said, my form is really good again. My TV form's improving all the time, and yeah, it's just a case of just building on that really, and obviously trying to push myself back in that. But like I say, the performances over the coming future is what's more important at the minute. And then if I play well enough in them, I can warrant me place back in the Premier League then.
You did win another Pro Tour event in 2016, but you've failed to win one since. Are you frustrated that, given the start you made in the PDC, you haven't won? Well, you've only won 2 tournaments, and you haven't won one since 2016.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's disappointing. I've been to a final of a European as well, but
yeah,
the potential's there. Those days are really, really long and hard days to win a Pro Tour. So obviously I could have come over and never won one. So to have still won 2 is an achievement still. But I'm hoping in the future that I am gonna win more. Obviously, I'm working hard towards that, and that is the aim. And like I said, the standard of the players is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You've got to be on your A game straight away. You don't get away with any bad games because you get punished. So yeah, it's all about building towards winning, and that's what I intend to keep doing.
And you did make big progress last year. I think you made a final of the Pro Tour, and then you made a final of the Czech Darts Open, where you went down to Jamie Hughes. So it's getting nearer, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. And like I said, it's work in progress. From where I was 2 years ago to feeling down in the dumps and thinking about jacking it all in to now feeling like I'm part of the clan again, like I can win again, and the confidence is back and everything. So yeah, it's been a strange couple of years, to be fair, but I feel like I'm through that thick cloud now, and I can just carry on with me blinkers on and just keep aiming towards winning a title.
And looking at your game at the moment, you're obviously playing really well at the minute. Going forward, do you believe you can win a PDC major or even a World Championship again?
Of course I do, yeah. Like I said, listen, I wouldn't keep playing if I didn't think I was good enough. And form at the minute's really good. Obviously, there's a lot of players' form's really good, but you wouldn't have said Dimitri necessarily was going to win the match play before it happened, 100 to 1 outsider. But those things can happen, and listen, the dedication's there, the will to win is there, and I'll be trying my best to get another title, whether it be the World or any other TV event.
Obviously, you're happy with your darts at the minute, but you must be happy about your football team as well, because you support the same football team as me, Liverpool, and they've just won the 19th title. So you must be delighted with that as well.
No, amazing. It's brilliant for the city as well, and obviously when I'm not at that, to try and get some games.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Liverpool fan, and it's just so great for the city. Like you say, all them years of hurt, and now we've finally got that title back. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to them buying some new players this season and pushing on again. And it'll be interesting now because they'll have a massive target on the back as the league champions, and see how they go again this year. But they've got the right man in the job. Jurgen Klopp is an absolute incredible manager.
Definitely.
And without him, I don't think that title was possible. But I think what he's done for the club has been second to none. And him and the owners and everyone's behind the team. Obviously, bringing Van Dijk and Alisson in, integral parts of the team now. It's crazy. And obviously, the youth in Trent as well.
Oh, yeah, he's brilliant.
The assists he had alone for a fullback is... I mean, there's talks that you could play him in midfield next year because of assists and stuff. So, yeah, the future's bright, and the future's red, I'll say.
Right, let's go back to the darts, and I'm going to leave it one with question. It's one that I ask all my guests, and I think you're in a great position to answer it, actually. Who are the greatest, in your opinion, the top 5 greatest players of all time, going from 5 to 1?
Geez, I wish you'd have told me this before the call. I could have got some names ready.
I like putting you all on the spot.
Top 5, going from 5 to 1.
Yeah.
I'd say 5. Difficult one, this. I know me 1 and 2.
Yeah.
In fact, I know 1, 2, 3. I'd say Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
And 5. Raymond Barneveld in 4. Eric Bristow in 3. Michael Van Gerwen in 2. And Phil Taylor in 1.
There we go. We got it in the end.
I don't want to offend anyone by saying that, by the way, but I think in my lifetime, obviously Phil is, for what he's done for the game, and obviously 16 world titles. He's the best player I've ever played on TV as well. So
Obviously, the debate about 1 and 2, we always get it. It's going to go on forever, but everyone's got their own opinions. There's Phil Taylor's won 16 world titles, and then you've got Van Gerwen, who he's only won 3, but then he's just taken the game on further, hasn't he?
Exactly, and the thing is now, Van Gerwen's still playing, so Van Gerwen add to his records, whereas Phil's finished now. So obviously, Michael's writing his own destiny, and I think Michael in an interview said he's only going to be playing for 10 more years.
Yeah.
So saying that, he's not going to break the record of Phil's 16, but in the same context, you couldn't say he's not going to win 10. He is that special of a player.
Yeah.
I don't want to big him up too much because I might have to play him soon.
Yeah, but the standard's just so good nowadays.
Exactly.
No one's going to win that many world titles now anyway.
No. The standard of the players, you just have to look at the top. Well, you look at the whole 128 tour card holders.
Yeah.
If you've got a tour card, then you're a good player. There's no two ways about it. And obviously there's shocks and stuff all the time, but
yeah,
it's because the players are so good. They're not shocks in our mind, but the shocks to a bookmaker.
Definitely.
But these players can play darts, and every dog has the day, they say. So
yeah.
Hopefully, I have a few of my days this year. And
yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope you do have your day. Coming autumn series now. Hopefully, you can kick on now and win a few more titles.
Thanks very much, Luke. I will try my best.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Stephen. It's a pleasure.
No problem, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.